Okay, I wanted to do just a little addendum to some of the terms and things. I don't know. I didn't actually look through my book to see if these were on there, and if they are, I'll just explain them in more detail. But there's some things that I wanted to just sort of, again, in the wake of all the social media baloney and nonsense and sort of BS that's going on with a lot of things, be able to identify some things that I think people kind of need to know. I get the terms personally kind of confused. That's why I actually save them on my little mobile here, so I can remember. These are what's considered fallacies. So falseness, the things that aren't accurate. A couple of these I believe are actually fairly legal in terminology as well. First, we have ad hominem. It's Latin for to the man, the attempt to discredit an opponent by attacking the person as opposed to the argument. So the example here is, what would you know about labor laws? You don't even have a job. So that's not, if someone makes a point about something and, someone goes after something that's not the actual discussion. Something that is, almost sort of not even pertinent to what's trying to be debated or talked about or anything, because it's just almost, it's practically a personal attack about the person, as opposed to trying to use any logic or anything to talk about the argument. The next one they have here, there's only 5. Next one they have here is called faulty cause. Faulty, faulty, as in not working. It's substituting association for causation. Now, I think we might have talked about before, causation is cause and effect, so the thing that makes something happen. The example they have is, many women claim to be pacifists, but before women got the vote, there were no nuclear weapons. It had nothing to do with each other, nothing at all. I mean, we're decades apart from each other. So it's, it's attacking, that group or that person or anything with something that has absolutely nothing to do with the point. So because there is some vague association with what they're saying, they're talking about as, okay, that's the reason. That's not the case. Next one is false dilemma, D-I-L-E-M-M-A, presenting only 2 possible alternatives to a complex situation when in fact there are many more. This is all over the damn place anymore. The example is, you don't support our troops, and that makes you a traitor. Well, it's like, well, no. There might be other reasons, and maybe even it's not that they don't support the troops. It's maybe they have a problem with the policies that brought them to an area of the world anyway. It has nothing. We don't want to be seen as an American, to be seen as being this sort of aggressive, violent bully in anywhere this part of the world, and that's why I don't like what they're doing over there. It's like, no. But if you're not just blindly supporting this, then you're a traitor. And it's like, that's not the same thing. So there's guilt by association. This goes on a lot, definitely in court. I've seen that before. The attempt to discredit an opponent by associating their argument with an undesirable idea or person. The example is, how could you defend Christianity? Torquemada was a Christian. Torquemada, through Central South America, horrible, horrible things. We get this a lot with that too. It's like, oh, well, you're with this party or something like that, then this other person who was this, I almost said something, but this not good person, well, since you guys are in the same party, you're exactly like him. And I think that's not how that works. So loaded question. A question which limits the range of discourse by containing a controversial or unjustified assumption. It's like putting a splinter in the question there. The example is, in your opinion, what makes the iPhone the best smartphone? It was like, ooh. And then you gotta, if you don't agree with that, then you gotta be like, well, I don't think that. Maybe you do agree with that and someone wants to make an argument over it. And then that creates a whole other issue too. So it's almost like setting people up for kind of a trap. So anyway, that was just, I just wanted to kind of put that out there because I've been thinking about that a lot, especially there's a lot of reasons without getting too much of putting my opinion or my labeling of observations on things. Just kind of, I think it's something that just kind of needs to be looked at there. So those are some fallacies with which to kind of pay attention to in case they happen to you, or another way of being observant of our own mind and our own thoughts and what we're about to say and how and why, because sometimes we use those things as well in order maybe feel somewhat threatened, and that doesn't necessarily mean like threatened by I'm going to be physically attacked by this person, but maybe maybe you feel, oh, I'm going to get in an argument with this person, I can't win, so I'm just going to call them this, that, or the other thing. We see that a lot with politicians. And then sometimes the politicians where it's like you don't even need, the ad hominem to the person. It's like you don't even need to attack the person. There's so much everything else that they're doing that is very easily able to be used as sort of fuel for a more logical and intellectual discussion. So that's it for that. Just wanted to kind of put that out there. Thanks. See you soon.